little spicy emotion to start this game today.
So no extra motivation needed today. We'll take a look at the starting lineups today. First for the visiting Cougars at 3-5. They've dropped their last 3 games. Elliott Cole, a junior from Chicago, their leading scorer, averaging 15 points a game. He's been deadly from deep as well. He's shooting about 41% from behind the arc. On the other side for the Blue Demons, who have won 2 straight, somebody you're keeping your eye on today, Stephen, that's Billy Garrett Jr.
Yeah, Billy Garrett Jr., best player on this ball club, preseason second team All-Big East. He makes this offense run. If he gets going early and often, it bodes well for the Blue Demons.
Just about set to get things tipped off as David Leato, his 4th season with the Blue Demons. This is his 2nd stint here in Rosemont after coming back from Virginia. On the other side, his 6th season, Tracy Dildy, a Chicago native and a former assistant here at Depaul. So a lot of familiarity, as Stephen was saying just a few moments ago. All set to get things going. Chicago State in the black with green trim, and Depaul in the home whites, and it'll be the Cougars with the first possession of the game. It's Batson running the point.
Let's see, Chicago State like to attack from the 3-point line. They'll be smaller than the Blue Demons, so they'll look to dribble, penetrate, and kick.
This is a team that heaves up a lot of threes. There aren't many teams in the nation that shoot more from behind the 3-point arc than Chicago State. They turn it over early.
And they're going to have to switch up the defenses on Depaul today. You're going to see a lot of pressure, sometimes half-court, man-to-man. They don't want to let Depaul get comfortable, so they're going to give them multiple looks defensively.
Bounce to Simpson. Full court pressure, something we can see a lot of today from the Cougars.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a lot of switching defenses, run and jump, double teaming the basketball. So now the shot clock is inside of 15 seconds, so DePaul going to have to hurry.
So both sides turn it over on their first possession. Here comes Cole. Cole tucks it, dishes, and a heart take underneath, and the finish. That's Karan Davis.
Oh, Davis. Beautiful finish inside the paint there. A little bit of contact as well. Was able to fight through.
Garrett shoved. And goes on Batson. You take a look at this series history. Well, it's a little lopsided to say the least. DePaul owning the all-time record. These 2 teams have met a lot recently. 6 straight seasons.
Yeah, and what you're going to see here, believe me, Tracy Dildy and his staff uses that statistic as motivation for these guys to get ready to play here today. Not like they needed much, but every little bit helps.
Henry off the dribble, cross-court pass as Garrett parries it.
Well, this is a good lineup for DePaul because when you can move Billy Garrett Jr. off the ball sometimes, saves his legs, allows him to be a little bit more aggressive offensively.
Adekoya. One-handed, off the glass.
I like that move right there. Jawad with a lot of confidence going to the hole.
Adekoya averaging just about double figures each night. Henry lost the dribble. Simpson trying to create. And just off the mark.
That's not going to please Dave Leato of DePaul. He would prefer his guys swing the basketball to the other side of the floor and look to drive. Do not settle for contested jumpers.
Quick ball movement from the corner now. And it rattles off from Palmer.
Nice offensive flow right now for Chicago State despite the miss.
Kane. And it's an offensive.
Eli Kane having that period, Aaron, where a lot of freshmen go through. They're trying to adjust to the level of play at the college level. He was able to do this last year in high school because he was bigger and more athletic. It's not going to cut it at this level.
Now Kane, a phenomenal high school career, scored over 2,000 points in New Jersey. He's one of the best players coming out of the state. This is picked off. Here comes Henry. Henry, 1-on-2, the right hand. He's fouled.
Great job of playing the passing lanes where the Blue Demons that time. Coming up, you'll see Mike Henry right there get into the passing lane, come up with a steal. And he was strong enough to get it to the rim, take the contact. Mike Henry, natural-born scorer, Aaron. One of those guys, he can score in a phone booth. This dude can do it all.
Henry, a senior out of Chicago. Couple of substitutions. Here comes Tommy Hamilton. You think about the college career that it has been for Mike Henry. His first college coach, Bruce Weber at Illinois, 4 coaches, 4 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. And for him to keep all that straight in his head, I credit the young man, because 4 different philosophies in 4 different years.
Here's a 3, and it's buried. It's Sims.
I'll tell you what, Aaron, Chicago State's going to be tough today to defend if they're as confident as they look here in the first 3 minutes of the game. There was no passes and just an open jumper.
Trying to counter on the other side, Garrett. And when Chicago State has not turned the ball over, they have been successful putting it through as Cole is fouled.
Elliot Cole, a natural scorer. Taking it to the rim. See, Simpson gets a hand on the shot. He almost gets it to fall. Chicago State locked in here early on both ends of the floor, playing good defense and being very aggressive early in their offensive possession.
Now, Cole has been nearly flawless from the line, shooting 94% on the season. As Eli Kane will check in for Depaul. All this talk, Stephen, about all the Chicago student athletes on the court, and Cole, one of them, a Chicago Public League product, transferred to Gulf Coast State in Florida.
Wow, Kane almost had another turnover there.
And the whistle as Henry was taking it.
So what you're seeing from Chicago State right now, they are making Depaul uncomfortable. Pushing the tempo, run and jump, trap, full court press, maybe come back. Just keeping Depaul off balance right now. Aaron Simpson is going to have to step up and provide some leadership for this ball club while Billy Garrett Jr. is on the bench.
Cougars a 5-0 run as Cole takes it. Sims puts on the brakes and drains it.
Boy, Fred Sims Jr. led the CPS in scoring when he was a senior at North Lawndale High School, picking up right where he left off.
Henry, a 3 off the mark.
We got to remind our viewers, Aaron, that the Chicago State team was up 13 at Illinois, had a chance to beat them on the road, so it's a capable ball club if they can shoot the 3.
Chicago State 3-5. They've lost 3 in a row. You see Tracy Dildy, his 6th season, and a former assistant at Ole Miss, at Auburn, among others. But he's had success at Chicago State. He's given the Cougars their first Division I championship and postseason berth.
Right now, Chicago State in a 1-3-1 zone.
Deep 3, and it's short. Cole gets the rebound, gives it up, and the 2-hand flush. Karan Davis, 4 points. They've all been from point-blank range, and that was with some authority.
It's early. Got to take better care of the basketball.
Bounce to Henry. Garrett doubled up, lost his dribble, and takes, a travel. Looked like he was taking a hard elbow right to the face for the whistle of turnover.
Well, Chicago State is baiting them right now. You saw Elliot Cole. He was kind of playing back and forth, and he baited Garrett Jr. into that turnover.
He's a good call. You can see the feet move. There is Cole. And a whistle against Cole. He gets whistled for travel. So some contact on both sides, but as it turns out, both end up being travel.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Tracy Dillon and his staff talk about with Elliott. He's a talented player, but he gets out of control at times. Got to stay in better control when you have the rock in that situation.
Henry lost the dribble, gets across midcourt to the rim, and a blocking foul.
Tommy Hamilton showing you some of that diverse skill set that he has at 6'10". Fake one way, go back the other, coming to the hole. Chicago State rotating it. Didn't pick up the charge, but Chicago State's energy has been impressive to start this game.
That goes on Woods.
This young man here, Aaron, Tommy Hamilton, is so skilled. Can post up, can shoot the three, can put it on the deck, is a good passer. Guy that plays the most minutes for this Depaul Blue Demons team.
Coming off a double-double versus UIC, gets them both. Palmer gives it up underneath. Contested. It's a fresh 30. Palmer backs it.
Every loose ball right now Chicago State is coming up with. And I know that Tommy Hamilton, Billy Garrett Jr., Mike Henry, they had to know Chicago State was going to come in here with their A game. And yet they have not responded well to this pressure.
And this is a swarming defense, full court defense from Chicago State. Fade away from Hamilton. And fouled on the try afterwards. That was Garrett underneath.
Paul looks totally out of sync. Has a lot to do with Chicago State. Tommy Hamilton, very difficult shot. But Rashawn Stimmage, one of the better, what I call junkyard dogs, Aaron, in the Big East. Guy's got a high motor, loves to get on the offensive glass.
Stimmage on his third college team, junior college ball in Texas, then in Florida against the first free throw.
You can see he's got those long arms, that good build. And he plays very, very hard. One of those guys you love to have on your team, but you hate to play against.
And Depaul's been perfect at the line so far. 6 of their 9 points have come from the stripe. Meanwhile, we talk about this aggressive defense from Chicago State. They got 14 fouls. Fouls having a problem at times. Cole back on the floor directing some traffic.
See, Chicago State wants to have an open offense.
And this is ripped away from Henry, by Henry rather. And right back to Chicago State. Cole, the 360 will slow it up a little bit.
You see the floor spacing in Chicago State. They want to play 4 out, 1 in and allow dribble penetration and hope that the defense collapses and kick.
Give and go. And the other way. That was Davis in the short corner. First foul on Davis.
Erzan Ghazi. Oh, that was Billy Garrett Jr., excuse me. Giving up his body. Good defensive play to get his team the possession.
Whistle before mid-court. That's the second on Woods. There's already 2 players from Chicago State with multiple fouls. They already have 6 as a team.
And you know what, Aaron? One of the challenges in this year with the rules changes, with the freedom of movement, teams like Chicago State that want to pressure full court, you have to be very careful because you're not going to get away with that contact that you did in years past.
Edward Scott on the floor now for Depaul as this now goes the other way. That's Hamilton, 7th turnover.
Been very impressed with Tracy Dildy's crew coming in here dictating pace. Done a really good job on the defensive end, keeping Depaul off balance.
Palmer trying to go baseline. Traffic underneath, and Henry swats it away, but Chicago State holds on to it. Palmer, contested shot.
Good job on Mike Henry on the block without fouling.
Baseline up and under, and that's knocked away by Sims. No foul. As Henry lost it on his way out. Woods runs into a roadblock and loses it.
Well, Chicago State is shooting themselves in the foot. As hard as they're not playing very smart right now on the offensive end.
Now you wonder what kind of lead it would be for Chicago State, if not for the fouls, and if not specifically for the turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, they had a 13-point lead. We talked about it at Illinois. They had 2 crucial turnovers down the stretch. James Farr, assistant, you see him on the left. He was telling me that that's what cost them the game. So they put themselves in good position. They're learning how to play with the lead and close out games.
Garrett gets the first one to go through.
See, it's critical in these games when you have a team like Chicago State that throws different looks at you and tries to scramble and heat you up. As a point guard, you've got to take control of the ball and your team, get guys in the right positions, and get them to swing the ball. We haven't seen Depaul swing the ball from side to side one time in this game.
Now for Garrett, nearly half of his points this season have come from the line. 2 of his 5 have come from the stripe today. Depaul has received almost all of their offense from the line. They have only 1 field goal. Another turnover. This is Simpson to bring it across. Ghazi wants a 3, takes it.
And Ghazi looks at the Chicago State bench. Someone said something to him as he was releasing that 3. I don't know if he said something back, but he gave him a look like, well, take that one with you.
7-0 run for Blue Demons. That brings them within a pair. Here's Cole, and he answers on the other end.
So you can't do it. There's going to be a lot of talking today, Aaron, but sometimes you got to let sleeping dogs lie.
Weaving through traffic. Aaron off the mark. Foul. That was a take by Currington. Ghazi a 3. Bringing Depaul back into it. Both teams guilty of turnovers. Each have 7. And if it was not for the fouls of Chicago State sending Depaul to the free throw line, they would not be as close as they suddenly are.
Well, Depaul's doing a great job of getting to the line. They manufacture, as you were talking about, Billy Garrett Jr., one of the best at it, manufacturing points from the line. Doing a really good job here early.
Currington backs them both. Blue Demons 10 for 10 from the stripe.
Now, an interesting nugget here is we watch Chicago State have the basketball. They have been red hot from 3, except for that one. They also have an 8-0 advantage in the paint. Points in the paint, Chicago State.
There's a hard take up under with the right hand. What a scoop. That was Aaron Simpson, the senior from North Chicago.
I love Aaron's toughness. He's emerged as a leader on this team, very vocal. He's really been hot from three-point land. He was 5 of 5 from 3 against Florida State. Very capable from long range.
Under 10 to shoot. Eaves. Gets a high screen. He'll launch a 3. And he rattles it through.
Boy, R.J. Currington did not come up defensively that possession.
Ball trying to answer quickly on the other side. Hamilton the offensive rebound. Simpson again. Last time in the paint, this time from downtown.
Yeah, Aaron Simpson starting to heat up a little bit. This is a good group for Depaul right now. 4 guards and Tommy Hamilton in the game. Defensively, they match up better with the Cougars right now.
The Demons within 1. Adekoya fouled as he went to the ring. Now Budweiser salutes all the U.S. military men and women. This Bud's for you.
An aggressive move to the rim. Adekoya getting to the rim and putting a little pressure on the Depaul defense off the bounce.
Adekoya trying to build on a strong finish the last season, last 6 games. A year ago, averaging double figures. You can see averaging nearly double figures early on this season.
It's interesting, too, because Adekoya was going hard to the rim, but he's shooting 44% from the 3 on the season. So there's a talented scorer for Chicago State.
When you look at Adekoya and Cole, 2 young men shooting about 40% from behind the arc. And that's where a lot of their production deep has come from this year. He's been a good free throw shooter, but misses both of these. Fight for it underneath. Last touch off Chicago State. That's a missed opportunity at the line.
I'm a fan of R.J. Currington. Currington. I always have been. He plays with a smile on his face. He plays hard. He doesn't know how many minutes he's going to get, but he gives everything he has when he's on the floor.
Gazi gives it up into the corner. Three, launched, and it's through. Tommy Hamilton.
Gazi showing a little bit of maturity beyond his freshman classification. He had an opportunity to take that shot. Deferred to the upperclassman Hamilton.
Way downtown Adekoya. And that gives Chicago State the lead right back.
Adekoya had a foot in Lake Michigan when he let that one launch.
Simpson trying to weave through and a travel. That's our third travel call combined on both sides of this game.
Dave Lato trying to urge Aaron Simpson to come to a jump stop to avoid that travel right there in that situation. I love the pace of it early in this game. Chicago State has dictated. Depaul starting to respond, Aaron.
Oh, we knew Chicago State liked to shoot from downtown. They're 5 for 8 from behind the arc. Almost picked off. Palmer at deep 2 off the mark.
Starting to see the defense of DePaul scramble. They're getting into passing lanes. Where Chicago State was having it easy offensively. Now it's getting a little bit tougher as the defense cranks up for the Blue Demons.
Frederick Scott, freshman out of Munster, Indiana, just about 25 miles outside of Chicago, checks in. There's Hamilton putting it on the floor, and he's fouled. That goes against Madrid Andrews.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Aaron Simpson was fortunate that time. Chicago State had him in a double team along that sideline over there. He was strong enough to get it out.
It's now 9 fouls. You can see the disparity. Only 3 for DePaul.
Oh, a lot of talking going on right now between these two. Chicago State trying to match the physicality of the Blue Demons.
Hamilton last year scored a career-high 25 points versus Chicago State. This is his free throw, and it gets put back through. Henry.
Mike Henry, one of the best offensive rebounders in the Big East, has one of the quickest second jumps in college basketball, in my opinion.
DePaul by 2. Anthony Eves, true freshman from Louisville, gives it up, and Adekoya fouled, and he just is off the mark. He buried one from almost that exact same spot a few minutes ago.
I'll tell you what, I mean, you know, good defenders defend the three-point line. That's a 4-point line where he's shooting from. Adekoya, look where he is. I mean, he's at the Ray Meyer spot about 29 feet from the rim. And Aaron, he's shooting it like you did back in high school with ease from range.
Now, how did you know that?
Yeah, you told me you were captain of the high school team.
Well, Adekoya, we mentioned earlier, has been nearly perfect from the line. 13 for 16 entering today. Missed his previous 2 free throws and clanks the first one here.
You know, I think that's an indication of how hard these guys are playing. They're keyed up a little bit. But I love this. I love hot sauce between two teams, you know.
A lot of it today.
Yeah, you know, a lot of emotion, trash talking. Nobody's playing dirty, just playing hard.
There saw Hamilton checking out. Adekoya, a team-high 6 points. Make it 7. Now tied for the 3rd time today. 7 lead changes here in this first half. Simpson brings it across, and traffic and a blocking foul. He took on 3 defenders.
Well, Aaron Simpson, he may be 5'11", but he doesn't lack for heart. Saw the lane closing down. He thought he could get there before they got set. He was correct.
That's the second foul on Madrid Andrews, who has, well, you think at this point, almost as many fouls as minutes played. and that's almost kind of par for the course for Chicago State here in this first half.
Yeah, and I think what we're going to see is as the Cougars get in deeper foul trouble, Tracy Dildon will probably elect to go to more zone in the half court to try to save his guys a little bit. But they are playing hard, and their game plan is working right now.
Devon Friend checks in for Madrid Andrews. Depaul on top by 1 as Garrett will take a breather. This is Adekoya's range, so you got to guard him. We've learned that.
I was getting ready to say, you got to keep a hand up when he comes across half court.
Simpson almost strips it over and back. Sims can't believe it.
Well, Simpson is active hands, makes a deflection. That's a pretty easy call for the official. Sims, I don't know what he was talking about.
You can see 16 total turnovers here in the first half. Just over midway through, even on both sides. Ghazi to the rim.
I tell you, Erzan Ghazi from Turkey going baseline. He is not feeling any ill effects from Thanksgiving.
Oh, look, it's the new Scion IM. And there's actor Jaleel White and Wax Museum Urkel. It's weird they're...
Erzan Ghazi, the true freshman, a chance for a three-point play. Well, that's a saddle for 2.
You know, Ghazi, in the first game of the year against Western Michigan, shot 2 air balls in the first half, and he was really nervous. Dave Lato started him in the second half. He did a great job defensively.
This is Henry fouled on his way up. That's the second foul on Trayvon Palmer. That's now 4 players for the Cougars with multiple fouls.
Well, Depaul understands that if they can take care of the basketball and get into a half-court set and dribble, penetrate, dribble, drive, they can either pick up fouls or get high-quality shots at the rim.
There has to be some concern for Tracy Dildy of Chicago State that even if they can hang with DePaul for the first half, the foul trouble will add up in the second half, and now DePaul's players will be safe enough to play in the second half, and Chicago State will have some pretty serious foul trouble that will affect playing time.
Yeah, and he's going to have to massage this situation. It's going to be interesting how he does it. I expected to see a little bit more zone defense, but they've elected to go a lot of man-to-man in the first half.
Largest lead of the afternoon for DePaul. Loose ball, and it's taken away by Garrett. Crosses over and touches it off the glass.
Well, that's a great one-man play right there. Got the strip, came up with the steal, was able to finish.
Garrett, a team-high 7 points. As DePaul on a 7-0 run in less than a minute.
Danger zone here for Chicago State. They need a quality look.
Full foul.
Billy Garrett Jr. known for his offense with quick hands here, spins away from the defense, and at 6'5", 205, you're not going to stop him once he gets ahead of steam at the rim.
Adekoya to inbound, gets it to Cole. Off the dribble, Sims off the glass.
Red Sims, explosive at the rim. And here's the zone defense that I thought we'd see. 2-3, trying to sit back and conserve their fouls until later on in the game.
That makes sense. Kane kicks it out. Garrett. Offensive glass underneath. Stimmage. He's fouled.
Well, when you play zone defense, you've got to give up something, and it's typically the offensive glass. Good job by DePaul having them scramble. Rashad Stimmage comes out of nowhere, does what he does, doing what he does best.
The foul is on Devon Friend, the senior from Joliet, Illinois. He's already got 2.
Rashawn Stimmage has gotten better from the line, but he's going to live there in Big East Conference play. Just so aggressive and so active. And if his free throw shooting can improve, it will really help Depaul.
Yeah, he's shooting just over 50%. David Leto calling him the most athletic player in the front court for DePaul this year. Pretty high praise. 5-point lead for DePaul. Under 7 minutes here in the first half. Woods trying to create. Now pivoting all over. Gets it off to Cole. Cole contested three. Quickly into the front court. Here comes Kane to spin. A little hang time to put it through.
Nice job by Eli Kane. He struggled at times this season in picking and choosing his spots on the offensive end. That time, really strong move off the glass.
Lead now to 7 for the Blue Demons. Underneath, right by the block. It's a pretty touch. Sims got 9.
Fred Sims Jr. is well built for a freshman. I mean, he's hitting guys with his off shoulder to create space. Playing like a guy much older than a freshman.
DePaul has made 6 of their last 7, and you can add one more to the list. Kane. Now it's 5. His first 3 ball.
Kane got that layup to go down. That bucket seems to get a little bit bigger. You get your first one dropped.
Sims, deep 3, almost straight away. Back iron. Garrett pushes the tempo a little bit, loses it, but Ghazi's there to pick it up. Ghazi from the corner. And the smallest man on the floor, Cole, an uncontested rebound. Cole, 5'11", 170, junior out of Chicago.
Cole has taken some tough shots his last couple times. It will benefit Chicago State to move the basketball, move the defense.
Davis draws a foul on his way to the rim.
Ryan Davis coming from the tremendous basketball factory, Chicago Simeon. Now, I got to say Simeon, Aaron, because my barbershop in Hyde Park would kill me if I didn't say it right. Because I came in there one day, I said Simeon. They were like, nope, Simeon. So, Ryan Davis, Simeon alone.
Well, you think about that team that he was on at Simeon. Lost playing time, well, to Jabari Parker, second overall pick. Then went on to Duke, then on to Milwaukee. Russell Woods now at Mizzou. In fact, Davis, as a high school senior, was so tall that he wasn't allowed to ride a roller coaster at Six Flags. He was 6'9", he's now listed at 6'10". Normally, when you can't ride the roller coaster, it's because you're underneath the bar, not because you're so far above it.
I know, right? That's a little unusual for him right there. I mean, it defeats the purpose of going in the first place.
Simpson. And whistle underneath. It'll be on Henry, his second.
I still like the possession for DePaul. The good look from three-point land was halfway down, just popped out. And if Henry's going for an offensive rebound, he picks up a foul. You just got to live with that.
Both teams now the bonus. And you can see David Leto explaining things there to Henry. Trayvon Palmer, junior out of Milwaukee. Palmer now with 4 points.
We're talking about Trayvon Palmer from Milwaukee. Milwaukee's put out some talented players in the last few years. Kevon Looney, who's in the NBA now, played at UCLA. Diamond Stone is a freshman at Maryland right now. So Milwaukee turned out a ton of good basketball talent.
Trying to get it down low. It's over the hands of Kane. Woods pushing.
Nice job by Elliott Cole getting his team organized in this possession.
Cole splits. Off the glass. Not even close to the glass, as it turns out. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Movement around the perimeter. Front iron missing there, Eli Kane. and a fresh 30 under 4 minutes to play in the first half.
So Chicago State is going to elect to allow some of these guys to take this three-point shot.
Into the corner, three, launched away and buried by Simpson. That's his second from downtown.
Yeah, but you can't leave Simpson. We talked about it earlier. He's been 5 of 5 in a game against Florida State, so got to read the scouting report.
Woods trying to create off the dribble. Up to the three defenders. The skip pass to Davis.
Aaron Woods. That's a beautiful pocket pass. Thought that looked like it was going to be a turnover, but did a good job of getting it to Davis for that easy deuce.
Davis now has 7. Now the elbow. Hamilton swarm, gives it up. And a foul right in front of the Chicago State bench. Well, how about Eli Kane, the true freshman out of New Jersey? We've seen a couple of impressive buckets.
Eli Kane, great size at the guard position. Spin off glass and putting pressure on the Cougars.
And Depaul shooting about 75% from the stripe, and also notable for the Blue Demons, they're 6 for 12 from behind the arc. So they've been able to dial it up from long range as well. Whistle for a travel, our 4th travel here in the first half.
So Chicago State back in a 1-3-1, trying to mix up the defense once again.
Gazi into the corner. Quick ball movement.
Pretty good defensive possession.
Up, under, and through. That's Eli Kane with 7. Biggest lead of the day for Depaul.
Now, what you saw from Depaul, the ball swung 3 different times, and there was an open drive. That's all Dave Lato wants to see. Move the basketball and then dribble drive. It will be there.
Sims loses the handle. Simpson through. Simpson with 11 and a timeout called as Depaul starting to feel it now. Will step aside from Rosemont. Depaul after a slow start heating up with under 2 to play. Possession arrow to the Blue Demons.
So now, last time defensively 1-3-1 for the Cougars, now 2-3 zone. Just trying to keep giving Depaul a different look, but Depaul has figured it out.
Garrett, ready pass, and fouled and through as he found Tommy Hamilton.
Oh, look at this pass. Billy Garrett Jr., the dribble penetration, collapsing the defense, bringing defenders to him. And watch the English on the wraparound. Degree of difficulty, 9.7 for Billy Garrett Jr. Sweet dime to his big fella.
And that's a beauty. Woods whistled for his 3rd foul. Hamilton drains it a 3-point play.
Those two are heating up. Billy Garrett Jr. and Tommy Hamilton starting to flex.
Depaul has made its last 4 field goals. They're on a 7-0 run. Eves on the floor at the point. Just over a minute left here in the first half. Losing it. Garrett almost was able to recover. Instead, Sims, boy, he's been an impressive player in this first half.
And no fear whatsoever. Sims knows where he wants to get on the floor. He's been able to get to that free throw line area consistently in the first half.
He's leading Chicago State with 11 points. Under a minute. Wide open, Kane lets it fly off the mark. Adekoya the rebound.
Dave Lato did not like that shot right there from his freshman Kane.
Almost a sloppy turnover. Adekoya cleans it up. He'll take it and is fouled. As in midair, Gazi made contact.
Adekoya, now he's got the defense paying attention to his three-point shooting ability, able to put it on the deck and get to in the paint area and draw the foul. Depaul has really done an excellent job after a very slow start. And almost at the half-century mark here in the first half, despite it looks like 10 turnovers for Depaul thus far. You're able to overcome 10 turnovers and you almost have 50 points in the first half. You're doing a lot of things right.
That's impressive as Dixon checks in for Palmer. Adekoya gets the second. Adekoya's had his chances at the line and has not been quite up to his normal standard. 3 for 7 and nearly flawless from the stripe for today. Just the most slight difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Hard take, no foul, clean block. Adekoya swatted away. What an authoritative block as it was Ghazi running the floor.
Well, you see, right here, since he tries to stop, Ghazi feeling like he's back in Turkey in high school playing volleyball or something. That was impressive. The spike and then the spin. He did a 180 spin to land away from the defense.
That's what was really impressive, wasn't it?
It wasn't a spike.
He'll try the 360 next time.
There you go.
Shot clock turned off. Chance at the last shot for Chicago State. Or not. A whistle will give the ball to Depaul. That is the third foul on Devon Friend.
Trying to set a screen, trying to bring it looked like Fred Sims off of a double down. Like he's still moving, trying to get a piece of the Depaul defender.
Now Depaul trying to figure some things out. As now Henry ready to go with the inbound. Under 5 seconds. Garrett runs into his own man. And right in front of the Chicago State bench, a whistle. That's Currington.
Oh, so it's like a turnover for Depaul. Oh, no. Depaul ball. Okay, excuse me. Right now, he can only tip at the rim.
That will not be released in time. There's a desperation heave there from Hamilton. Now, Depaul off to a slow start here in this first half. Depaul trying to win its third straight game, trying to get over 500 for the first time since the beginning of the season. 1-0. You can see the slow start for the Blue Demons, and then 41 points in 15 minutes for Depaul.
That's getting after it. That's moving the basketball, getting good shots, taking what the defense gives you.
Chicago State starts with it as Batson brings it across. I mean, either Chicago State like to shoot the three. They were 5 for 10 in the first half.
Adekoya was swarmed that time. Paul recognizing his ability to shoot from deep.
Cole splits the defense. Teardrop gets the rebound. Great pass. And an even better finish. There's Batson in traffic.
Batson, not very big, but boy, he was tough on that finish.
Now Batson, no points in the first half, so nice way for him to start the second half of the game today.
So Paul's got to match Chicago State's intensity. They didn't do that to start the game. Here's Kane for 3. This is a confident freshman. And he had 5 turnovers in the first half. He had 6 in the game against UIC last game. So he's struggling handling the basketball. He's not struggling with his confidence.
That's his second three. He's got 10 points as Henry whistled for his third foul. We saw a lot of that face from Henry at times in the first half.
Yeah. Mike wears his emotions on his sleeve and not happy he's going out of the game right now and picking up that foul. But well, he's persevered, as you talked about. 4 different college coaches throughout his career and having the best season right now.
Brings Hamilton on the floor, contested 3, and it's off the mark. Adekoya trying to put it through from deep. just above the free throw line is short. Hamilton just off the bench.
Well, they missed Rashawn's scrimmage in the post. He was wide open. You got to feed the big fellas when they work that hard to get that kind of position.
Down the block, off the glass, no good. Davis can't find the touch.
Even though Davis didn't make that shot, I liked his aggression. He went right through the chest of Tommy Hamilton.
Backing down on the block. Here is Hamilton fading away. And Stimmage over the back. That's his second. So we talked so much about the Cougars' fouls in the first half, and in the early minutes, at least here in the second half, it's been the Blue Demons whistled a couple of times.
Tell you what, I'll be watching that Iowa-Michigan State championship football game. I'm looking forward to that.
7 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Pull the crossover, trying to tuck it like a running back and loses it.
Great no call by the officials that time. Didn't penalize Tommy Hamilton for his size advantage in that exchange.
Hamilton on the floor, foul. And it won't go through.
Watch Tommy Hamilton build a wall here. L.A. Cole goes to the hole, is trying to draw contact and a foul. Good job by Tommy Hamilton holding his position, going vertical.
That foul, meanwhile, on Palmer, that's his third. That's now 2 players, Woods and Palmer, for Chicago State with 3 fouls.
Now, this is the time of the year. You got your first month under your belt. You've got 6 to 7 games under your belt. Depaul's played a very good schedule in Florida State, South Carolina. Now they're starting to understand each other a little bit better, starting to understand what Coach Lato expects of them. Find themselves getting to a nice rhythm here.
Now they call no lane violation as Hamilton gets them both. Maybe he's pushed. Is that the reason why there?
Yeah, I'm a little clueless on that one there, to be honest. I thought that should have been a violation.
That's pretty obvious. Adekoya. Offensive rebound and a good one there by Batson. Adekoya again this time. Off the rim. Can't convert either chance. Garrett trying to look low. Hamilton covered up. Simpson gives it up. No whistle as Hamilton gets it out.
So one thing about Tommy Hamilton in the paint area, he doesn't have a lot of lift. So sometimes he gets his shot blocked even though he's 6'10".
Sims had an impressive first half, gives it up. Adekoya lets it rain from deep. He's had some serious range today.
Boy, you just can't leave him open. That time, a couple defenders fell for the ball, and Adekoya takes advantage.
He's got 11. That's his second 3-ball today.
Well, he's got some sweet form on that jump.
Garrett, left hand, through.
Eli showing you. Might be a freshman, but he's got a great build. Can take a hit going to the rim.
Sims trying to weave, pulls up. Short. Davis the rebound, goes back strong. Gets the foul, can't finish.
Ron Davis has been energized playing against Tommy Hamilton. Goes at the offensive rebound and watch, he takes it right to him again. Nice challenge by Davis.
That's the third team foul on Depaul here in the second half. Davis, 7 first half points. And he has struggled this year from the line. Shooting well within 60%. Gazi checks in. Same for Currington.
Joshua Batson doing a great job of, he's got his contact knocked out. Switch fingers with it, put it back in his eye. He's ready to go without any time.
Davis gets the second. As Gazi tries to break through with his full court pressure. Trapped, right back to Kane.
Depaul doing a much better job here in the second half of taking advantage or taking care of the basketball against the Russian defense.
Kane can't get the three to fall through as Hamilton gets fouled underneath. Depaul went into halftime leading 49-38. And our first break here in the second half, still on top by plenty.
Fox Sports Salutes presents a college basketball doubleheader on FS1.
More than what they had on a Wednesday and a very convincing win against UIC. And with their next made free throw, it'll be, although the season is young, a season high in made free throws.
Well, this is a staple of what Dave Lato wants to see on a consistent basis. With the emphasis on freedom of movement, it's very difficult to keep anyone from handling the ball hard, dribble drive to the rim without any contact.
Hamilton's made a living at the line today. 8 of his 13 points from the stripe. He's 8 for 9.
Tommy Hamilton with a smooth stroke at 6'10".
That's a junior out of Chicago. Started 13 games last season. 10 to shoot. Rolling on top. Palmer into the corner. 3 to shoot. Sims has to put it up. Desperation shot there, not close. Gazi on the bounce pass. Puts it on the deck. Left hand all the way to the rim.
I'll tell you what, Ertan Gazi is going to have a really good career here at Depaul. This young man's got some stuff you can't teach. He sees the floor. He knows when to attack. Tommy Hamilton wanted that basketball on the swing. It was a better decision by Gazi going to the rim.
Here's Palmer. Chicago State 1 for the last 8. And if that's on Davis, and it is, that is his 4th foul.
Well, Davis.
Now, today's game is sponsored by The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. And Tom Hardy hits theaters January 8th. Gazi gives it up to Currington.
This is the ball movement. Yep, this is the ball movement that you want to see.
Currington tried to go with the left hand. He was hoping for a foul rather.
They did a good job of sharing the basketball, though. Got it around the horn a couple times. That's what Dave Lato wants to see.
That's on Currington, his second. 4th on Depaul here in the second half. Palmer lets it fly. Cleaned up. There's Sims. Sims with 13. True freshman from Chicago.
I'll tell you what, Sims is going to have a really good WAC conference season if he continues to get better.
Hard drive and a foul. There's a lot of action underneath the rim here in the second half. Stimmage that time.
I'll tell you what, you want to take on Rashad Stimmage, you better bring your A game and your weight room.
And some body armor.
Oh, man, this guy loves contact, seeks it out. He puts a chicken wing on Davis to get him away and then draws the contact.
Stimmage, a senior from Chicago. It's the first.
I like Rashad Stimmage. He's battled through some injuries. You know, he's lost a little bit of confidence on the offensive end, but I like guys that know their game, and he knows his game.
And he's already started more games this year than he did all of last season. Paul continuing to be, well, in this case, perfect from the line. 6 for 6 here in the second half. They're shooting over 80% from the stripe today.
So let's project a little bit when you look at the Depaul, when you look at the Big East, and these teams that are like Villanova, which are a little bit smaller, Georgetown a lot bigger front line, so you have to play a lot of different types of styles, and a guy like Rashad Stimmage and Tommy Hamilton, the front line that can be active. Mike Henry on offensive rebounding. They've got to be active, they've got to be aggressive, and they've got to be able to get to the free throw line.
Well, entering today, Depaul was shooting under 70% from the stripe. The numbers have not been the same today. They've been much better.
Well, we got to remember, this is the first game for Depaul here at Allstate. Their only other home game was on campus at McGrath. So this is a welcome feeling for them coming back home.
Pretty shot there. Batson with 4 points all here in the second half. A win today for Depaul would be the first time that they would be above 500 since that game. Stephen was referencing. They won 2 in a row entering today. They had lost 3, now they have a chance to win 3 straight. Really fast ball movement is Hamilton. Megan Stimmers tries to finish it. Hamilton going for the rebound underneath.
It's RJ's game. He can spot up the shooters with the best of them.
Got a counter on the other end. Adekoya front rim. And Adekoya is able to come out of nowhere for the easy 2.
A frenetic possession that time for Chicago State. They just wanted it more than DePaul that time.
Adekoya tied with Sims with the team high 13 points for Chicago State. But a pretty quiet second half for Garrett. 3 launched and buried. R.J. Currington.
RJ missed that last opportunity from the same corner pocket. This time he made sure he was going to connect.
Sims, pretty spin, teardrop. Not even close. Up until that point, though, it looked pretty good. Chicago State trying to move the ball around. Hot potato, and it results in 2 for Adekoya.
You know, if you don't get defensive switches and calls, you can't help but you hurt the team. And so when you have a coach that can communicate that clearly and that effectively, I think the team will only grow as a result.
Break the Chicago State press. A kick out. Henry on the floor, pulls up. Rattles out Sims to rebound.
See if Chicago State can put together consecutive possessions of defense like we just saw.
Adekoya off the dribble. He's an impressive player, Stephen.
Yes, he is. Good size on the wings. Can really shoot the basketball from deep like we saw. And now he's taking it inside the three-point line and still effective.
He's got a game-high 15. A nice take on the other end. Garrett's had a pretty quiet second half. They haven't needed him as much, but his first bucket here.
Yeah, Garrett, I like the way that his game is starting to mature. He lets the game come to him. He gets others involved. But when the team needs a bucket, he's the one to go get one.
I beg your pardon, 4 points in the second half as Sims dials it up from way downtown.
Yeah, Sims churning or trying to act like Adekoya that time. Several feet behind the three-point line.
Sims now with 16. Garrett lets it fly.
Billy Garrett Jr. asked him to come out. He's sucking wind a little bit. But he didn't act like it on that shot.
Another double-digit effort for Garrett, his 50th of his career with Depaul. It's helped to give Blue Demons a 70-55 lead. Second foul on Simpson.
Well, this is an area to see if Paul can extend this lead. They've quietly taken a 15-point lead, trying to extend this out a little bit.
Their last win, a blowout win, 82-55 against UIC. University of Illinois Chicago, rejected underneath. And a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the ball.
That's that warrior again with Sean Stimmich. Get it out. Once again, good defense. Mike Henry coming over to assist. Good team defense that time by Depaul.
All over Devon Friend. 15th foul for Chicago State. That was such a part of the narrative for the Cougars in the first half. And it really made them pull off this full court press, which now we're seeing them go back to, and they force a turnover right away as Batson gets his hand in there. Adekoya. Ghazi in transition, gives it up to Kane.
Boy, Mike Henry did a good job of sealing off the defense to allow Kane to get all the way to the rim.
4 players in double figures for Depaul. Kane's got a team high 14. As Cole's off the front iron.
Well, Aaron Simpson got leveled with the screen, but got right back up.
Simpson takes it.
Looks like Elliot Cole is back in the game. See if he can heat up a little bit and help Adekoya.
Adekoya fouled on the floor. He was hoping that would be on the shot. It'll be on Simpson, his third. Simpson and Henry both with 3 fouls. Simpson will get a breather. Garrett back on the floor. 16 fouls for Depaul now.
Depaul does a really good job, I think, of shuttling guys in and out. Garrett was winded, and when you can get back into the game that quickly, you don't mind telling the coach, hey, get me out, because you know you're going to get back in the game when you get a quick blow. And that allows those guys to play all out when they're on the floor.
Here is Sims, a contested 3, rattles out. That was Garrett with a hand in his face, and it's Garrett to bring it across midcourt. Gives it up quickly in transition, and once again, it's Currington for 3. That's his second 3-ball today.
Well, we're starting to see now Depaul developing some killer instinct. Starting to smell blood here in the water.
8-0 run for Depaul. They've lengthened this lead to the largest of the day, 20 points.
Mike Henry, it's like he caught a shot to the midsection and trying to catch his breath a little bit.
Hamilton coming on. Henry. Quick break. Hamilton, by the way, 13 points off the bench today. We mentioned 4 scorers in double figures. Hamilton, one of them.
And let's see what Depaul gets on this possession. If they can stay sound to their principles and continue to extend this lead.
Ghazi in the corner. Another 10 to shoot. Currington wants another 3. This time short. Anthony Eves hustling across. Skip pass. Dixon. Ghazi wrestling for it. And whistle for travel. The ball will stay with Chicago State. It's a 20-point lead for Depaul, looking to win its 3rd straight game.
On the road, if you stick to the program, those things can bring you victory.
You never looked at a coach like he was crazy, did you?
I looked at Lou Henson like he was crazy even in my senior year. But you know what? He's a Hall of Fame coach, so that'll tell you something right there.
That's right. That's wise. Stepped out of bounds. This will stay with the Cougars.
You know, it's the hardest thing to get college basketball players to understand is how hard and how smart you have to play in each and every possession. And when guys can buy into that, great block.
Swatted away. Sims finds the hand of Stimmage. And back and forth we go. Sims, nowhere to go, but to go up with it. What a game for Sims. He's got 18 to lead all scorers at this point.
Boy, he's a good-looking young freshman that can score the rock. He's very confident. Doesn't mind going into the paint among the trees. Knows how to finish. Got that tough North Lawndale in him.
And he knocks this away. And this will go to Chicago State. But it looked like last touch might have been off of the Cougars, but it's ruled last touch by Depaul.
Talk about Fred Sims. And when you go to North Lawndale and you play in the Chicago Public League, he led the city in scoring.
He's feeling now 20. True freshman.
I like the hair, man. I mean, he's got the line all the way down. He's got the nappy top. I mean, it's a good look.
Hamilton short corner, spinning, trying to find baseline. Down to the paint, the left hand. Second, third effort, and through as Currington had himself a nice second half. He's got 10 points now.
Currington, I tell you, man, he doesn't know how many minutes he's going to get, but whatever he gets, he gives it all.
Now, don't miss a single Big East basketball game this season and the full 2015-2016 schedule to your calendar by going to foxsports.com/Big East TV now. Xavier, Western Kentucky later tonight. St. John's, St. Francis tomorrow, and a good one on Monday in Pearl Harbor. Number 6 Villanova, number 8 Oklahoma. Some good Big East schedules coming up.
Talking about some high-level guard play between Villanova and Oklahoma. Are you kidding me? Buddy Hield, reigning Big 12 Player of the Year. Ryan Arcidiacono, the sensational freshman Jalen Brunson from the Chicagoland area playing for Villanova. That's going to be much watched television.
It'll be a fun one. Under 7 minutes. Garrett puts down the brakes and puts it through.
Such a good move to stop and pop at the free throw line. You don't see a lot of players do that, but it's an easy play and it avoids the defense.
Davis nothing but an aisle on that time, and not in a good way. Strong take, but knocked away. Cole hustling, just kind of heaves it up. That's a shot put off the glass.
It was. He had the nice English there, too, to get the finish, but Elliot Cole not worrying about the score, continue to play hard.
His first points in the second half, had 5 in the first. Garrett, like a hacky sack, just kind of kicks it back off the heel.
I can never do hacky sack very well, even though I got size 14. I should be pretty good.
You can't miss.
Exactly.
Hamilton doubled up, lost the dribble on the block. Finds Stivage. And a travel. This has been a game of travels. We've seen a handful of them today.
It really has. I think it's an indication of how hard both teams are playing. They're getting sped up a little bit. There's some physicality going on.
That's our 5th or 6th travel call today.
Yep.
As Kane checks in. Looks like Garrett being tended to a little bit. You can see him down on his seat. Upper left-hand corner of the screen.
Looks like he caught a knee to the lower thigh area above his kneecap. That's a painful injury right there. Hopefully it kind of goes away with time, but in the first minute or so, it'll make a grown man cry.
Sims really locked in, but this time too strong. Hamilton rips down the rebound.
They're going to have to take a look. Tommy Hamilton might have thrown an elbow there on the rebound attempt. Take a look. Tommy Hamilton right here coming through. Oh my goodness.
He caught Trayvon Palmer. That is not a small elbow either from Hamilton.
Yes, I know Tommy Hamilton personally. Not a bad young man, not a dirty young man. He's trying to clear the rebound here. He just follows through. And I think he knew that when he made contact, that was something like, uh-oh. I think I messed up there because he throws his hand straight up.
Earl Watson, Matt Potter, Clarence Armstrong, our officiating crew, taking a look. Palmer, a junior out of Milwaukee, one of the starting 5 today for Chicago State. Averaging in double figures. And a round of applause around Allstate Arena as Palmer is at least able to sit up.
That lip is a little bit fat right now. He caught a nasty one to the chops. Right there. And Tommy Hamilton is not a small man. So he gets the ball like that and that elbow shoots up.
Well, anytime as a player you clear that elbow, you rip the elbow with the authority that Hamilton did, you always run the risk of some type of a flagrant call being thrown against him.
You do, Aaron, but here's the thing, and I'm never critical of the college referees. I'm critical of the people that make the rules in college basketball. This is what you're taught as a big man. When you catch the ball, you clear. So Tommy Hamilton is doing something that is instinct. It's not dirty. He was not trying to hurt him. That's what big men are taught. And so it's unfortunate that we try to have this game and they put 26 rules changes in every single season and take away from the game. This is a physical game. It wasn't intentional.
No, what it sounds like is you really have to start coaching a little bit differently. You have to be conscientious of the rules, especially when you have nearly 30 rule changes, as Stephen was talking about. As now we get word from one of the officials on the floor.
Flagrant 2. Tommy's going to get ejected out of the game. He went to the bench and shook Trayvon Palmer's hand to show you that it wasn't intentional. Good job by Tommy Hamilton. Watch Tommy. He goes over to Tracy Dildy. He apologizes. He goes and hugs Trayvon Palmer. That's what the game is about. Hard competition, guys respecting each other, nothing malicious.
Yeah, you could tell by his body language. You could tell by the situation of the game. Really, if you look at the full scope of things, not at all intentional. But as you were saying, the rules are what the rules are, and to the officiating crew's credit, they think that they saw enough for a flagrant 2 and ejected from the game. Meanwhile, Sims backs both free throws. He's got 22 points now.
Sims has stepped up. But I always, Aaron, I think that we have the best officials in sports in college basketball. I think they do a fantastic job.
So then, Stephen, if you're coaching big men now for any school across the country, there must be a slight change in how you're coaching, because as you said, you're taught to clear the elbows, but as we saw, if you do that, you're on the risk of into the locker room for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and you have to teach your young men a different technique as Michael Henry goes strong to the rim. But you're taught to chin the basketball. When you chin it with your hands on the side, your elbows automatically come up. So different technique needed to be implemented, and Mike Henry doing what he does best. He is a wizard around that basket.
Hey, I'm pitching. You got to shoot.
3-point play, and Henry has been perfect from the line, 5 for 5. And this will no doubt be one of the storylines for Depaul and David Leto in the days going forward. Blue Demons shooting 81%. They've converted 22 of their 27 free throws. Adekoya was a deep 2. Kane threw his body after the rebound and a foul.
What a great play by Eli Kane. First, he got up fake, or Billy Garrett Jr. was faked out by Adekoya. So Kane comes over and challenges the shot. Then he dives on the floor to get the rebound and draw the foul. Dave Lato's going to be more proud about that play than any other thing that Eli Kane has done all afternoon.
Results in a trip to the line. Both teams with a bonus. Kane now with 15. And really, Kane, until that moment, that free throw, the only Blue Demon player to not attempt a free throw on the day. That goes to show you, anybody who's been on the floor has had at least one free throw try.
So that means they're all aggressive when given the opportunity.
It's the first, not the second. Sims trying to add on to what's already been a monster day and almost gets a little bit of a shooter's touch. Garrett, who was knocked around with that knee injury, is able to find Henry. So Garrett back on the floor. Henry with 11. Over the back. Down the way up. That goes on Stimage. That's his third.
Boy, Paul got up the floor so quickly that time. Garrett giving it up to Mike Henry. I mean, this is after a made basket, ladies and gentlemen. And that looks like a fast break bucket. Paul not letting up here with a 22-point lead.
He sends Davis to the line. Davis, his father Carl, played professional football in Canada, the CFL. Now retired boxer as well. It's both Davis and double figures on the day.
Man, I used to love the CFL. Toronto Argonauts. I'm telling you, man, the Calgary, I can't remember the Calgary team.
Rough Riders?
That might have been it. Rough Riders, Winnipeg. I used to love the CFL. Warren Moon and Company, way back in the day.
Henry, a nice touch. We've just about covered it all today, Stephen.
Hey, man, if it's a ball and it's on, I'm watching.
Under 4 minutes to play. Straight away, just a free throw attempt really for Davis.
Well, Tracy Dilby and his staff may not be pleased with the outcome or the difference in the score, but their players have played hard today.
Well, Depaul, they had lost 3 in a row. They've won 2 straight, trying to get over 500 for the first time since beginning 1-0.
He's a really good freshman. He's come along, scored double figures, I believe, 4 of their games. It's a tough team. Chris Mack is a guy that loves big, bruising inside presence. They have that. They've got veteran guard play. Xavier's going to be one of the teams that contends for the Big East title.
It's a team to keep your eye on. Kane, his 3rd three-pointer of the day. He's got 18 points.
Eli Kane, he learns how to slow down and take care of the basketball better. He's going to be something to watch.
Sims misses a chip shot off the glass after the offensive board. It's a fresh 30 for Chicago State. Under 3 minutes to play.
It's interesting. That was the easiest shot Sims has had all afternoon.
Knocked away. Stimmage on the defensive end. Aaron weaving all the way to the hole.
Well, when you got a 6'5" guard can navigate like that, and you know he's got his head up to where he can dish as well.
Rebound there by Stimmage's right hand, but Cole able to put it right over the top of the fingertips to put it through.
Well, impressive game for Depaul. It came out, they were struggling early. Chicago State threw the first punch, but Depaul settled down. And we had a great graphic earlier. They had 41 points in the last 15 minutes of the first half, and they've never looked back.
Substitutions. Well, there's no doubt the big news around Chicago concerning DePaul has been the unveiled preview center of their new facility scheduled to open up 2017-2018 season. McCormick Place Event Center, 10,000 seats, a ticket cost of almost $165 million. Your favorite part, I know, Stephen, 22 suites where you like to watch the games. This is going to be a beautiful facility, a multi-purpose facility. And as we saw a shot of head coach David Leto, I mean, this is, if you're recruiting young men, this is the type of atmosphere you hope to see.
Well, the thing is, you're right. And what happens is there'll be young men in the city of Chicago, like Coach Leto told us before the game, that'll be 10 to 12 years old, and they'll watch a Billy Garrett Jr. or Mike Henry, and they'll relate to that young man. And then if they can become players by the time they're 16 years old, they will have fond memories of that facility and of DePaul players. And so it's a great recruiting tool. It's in a great area of the city in the South Loop that's starting to boom, and it can only benefit the program.
Kane uncontested. He's got an even 20. You think about the setup right now here in Rosemont, but 20 miles northwest of downtown Chicago. 2 campuses for DePaul. And right now, if the student wants to come to a game, you literally sign up on the bus list. You will take a yellow school bus from campus with the Athletic Center here to Allstate Arena, whereas as you were talking about the proximity that the new facility will have, that is one of the biggest selling points to it, aside from the glitz and the glam.
No doubt. The students can jump right on the red line, get right off, and they'll walk over there.
Just blocks away.
Just blocks away. People that are downtown that are working can go to dinner and go right over to the McCormick Center and watch DePaul. It's going to be an exciting place because there'll be some high school events there as well. So Depaul will be able to build a line of equity with that new venue.
And Dolan's check in, a senior, has had limited minutes this season for Depaul. Now Depaul with 60 seconds left and nearly 100 points. 6 players in double figures. As Adekoya goes to the line. He's had a nice day, 15 points.
I'm not sure I've seen many players shoot the ball better than Adekoya. And what we saw, man, that first three, I'm telling you, he had a pinky toe in Lake Michigan when he let it fly.
Well, Stephen is under a minute now. We see Depaul, as you mentioned earlier in the game. And with Chicago State, a lot of energy, a lot of hustle, a lot of turnovers. What have you seen from Depaul today that you think is going to really help to buoy them the rest of the non-conference schedule?
I think their ability to get to the free throw line because they commit to getting the ball in the paint via the pass or the bounce. And if you can get it to the paint in college basketball in today's game the way it's called, you can live at the free throw line. And now that we've seen in the last 2 games, Depaul's even increased their proficiency from the three-point line. So if you can combine getting to the free throw line and shooting a good percentage from 3, that's going to bode well the rest of the non-conference slate for Depaul.
You're right, Depaul 11 for 20 from behind the arc. They're shooting nearly 80% from the line. David Molinari, senior from Peoria, who earned a scholarship right before the start of the season.
I love seeing that. Guys that work their tail off, get rewarded, and he can play. I mean, we didn't see much of him today, but he can come in and run the offense.
Reeves who had the 3 on the last possession.
And the bench is going more crazy on that play than they did all afternoon.
Corey Dolans, the senior, Northbrook, Illinois, has logged 4 minutes all season entering today.
Fred Scott not feeling comfortable there. Rick Bosch neither, so they gave it both up. Both gave it up at the right time. Dolans gets some love from his teammates.
Loose ball, scrum, still no whistle. There it is. Jump ball, and possession arrow favors Chicago State.
Well, the players are smiling. The coaching staff from Depaul trying to keep a straight face over there. Loving Dolan's getting a chance. Oh, my goodness.
What a performance for Depaul. It wasn't good early for the Blue Demons. They cleaned it up, and they win convincingly here today. 96 points. The Blue Demons to take down Chicago State as Depaul wins it. And have won now 3 in a row. Now, right now, we're going to send you out to Mike Hill of the MS1 College Football Studios. Thanks for joining us today from